Good evening, guys.
Good evening, everyone.
And my name is Emily. I'm from Cambridge in the UK.
And my name is Gabriel. I'm from Birmingham in the UK as well. And we are both at the Ponte Lungo School. So we're here in Rome at the moment. Where are you guys? Who are you? And how are you this evening? How's your day been?
I hope there's
All of the
somebody more
questions.
for us to chat to.
Yeah.
And are you out there at all? Well, maybe we don't have anyone for now.
Yes. Maybe people will join us a little bit later.
Well, we've chosen a really an upbeat topic for today. Armageddon. Oh, hi, Aria. Nice to meet you.
Aria, hi. Where are you, Aria?
I like Aria's surname. Aria's sword. And so in this focus activity, future perfect, describing a disaster and predictions.
You're in Naples. Okay, nice.
Very good.
Are you from Naples originally, Aria?
And
so,
also,
okay.
Aria, what is the apocalypse? Are you from Naples? And what is the apocalypse? So, yeah, are you from Naples originally? And what is the
Yes.
two key questions? Good. So you've got, we would say the usual expression is born and raised, or raised and born, but normally people say born and raised.
Usually just because born well, not usually. Born always comes first chronologically. So we say born and raised, yeah. But absolutely. I like your profile picture as well, Aria. Nice. Sorry, I'm in this Princess Mononoke whole mood at the moment. So yeah, what is the apocalypse?
There's going to be a lot of work for you, Aria, because maybe you are our only student. So we're going to need a lot of pressure on you to carry the lesson. So we've got, it's definitely a shocking event, the apocalypse. What types of apocalypse could there be? Or, well, number two, what events do you think could cause an apocalypse?
So we have an example in the picture here, for instance. Hello, Julia.
No problem for being late.
No problem at all, no. And so you said, sorry, I'm late, which is great as well.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect way of saying that.
We're looking at number two, Julia. What events do you think could cause an apocalypse? Well, while they're writing, Gabe, what could be an event, an apocalyptic event?
Okay, so well, if we go with this one looks like a kind of nuclear apocalypse. This looks like some kind of nuclear explosion, doesn't it? Or atomic bomb of some kind, atomic or nuclear explosion. So a nuclear war, maybe, could be an apocalypse.
Yeah. We've got atomic bombs in a comment from Mario.
Yeah. Maybe a natural or artificial event caused by nature or man. Hurricanes, earthquakes, as well as atomic bombs. Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have to, yeah. So what's the difference then between a disaster and an apocalypse? I think an earthquake, I don't know, I suppose potentially you could have a series of earthquakes which are so serious that they cause an apocalypse. Hurricanes and earthquakes are definitely types of natural disaster, but an apocalypse should really be some kind of global, worldwide event, which I think the implication is that it endangers human life across the whole of the world. So it's a cheery subject.
Yeah. What about number 3? Okay, so what do you think would happen to the world if most of the humans were gone? Can you describe the scene to both Julia and Adia and any other student who's on? What would the scene be like?
Okay, and this is perfect, Adia. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, Giovanni.
Giovanni, hi. I had Giovanni on before. What do you think would happen to the world if most of the humans were gone? Question 4 here strikes me a little bit as one of those kind of, what do you think about the apocalypse? Do you like the apocalypse kind of questions? Just a little bit. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
If man disappeared, it would change our climate, our atmosphere. Nature itself would prosper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite possibly. Would the world heal itself? Animals
Fairly
would start
surely, I think. Yeah.
more present in the cities. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already seen pictures of that happening, haven't we, in the current state, that certain types of animals have started to venture into cities, haven't we?
Yeah. My favorite one, have you seen the photos of the Welsh village?
What was in the Welsh? No, I don't think so.
Wild mountain goats in this sleepy Welsh village. It's so good. That's my favorite
Really?
one. And they're mountain goats, so they're climbing on everything.
Wow.
That was the best one of the photos that I've seen. Which
If
is
you
not
think
to
about
say that this is an apocalypse. The coronavirus is not an apocalypse.
Yeah, but that's insane, the speed at which that has happened in a way as well. Because what the UK, the quarantine in the UK, it's been 2 weeks maybe, and the speed with which animals have gone into that Welsh village, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, the UK are 2 weeks behind us.
We're a month as of yesterday, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, another similar example. It's enough to see that dolphins have returned to the Gulf of Naples. Yeah. And all of the amazing photos of Venice with the fish, with the clear water and the schools of fish swimming around.
Mm-hmm.
Nature will return to the origins. There would not be any type of pollution. Yeah. So a couple of things for Giovanni's sentence. One thing is that in English, unlike in Italian, usually abstract nouns don't have the article. So nature is an example of an abstract noun, or love, revolution, freedom. All of these abstract nouns, we don't use the article. Usually, there are circumstances where you might. So nature will return to. We always say return to is the preposition. Nature will return to maybe to its origins. With the possessive. There would not be any type of pollution. Yeah, good. And type is with a Y. So I'll just write that. Nature okay. Yeah. Okay. What would you do, Gabe, if civilization was destroyed by a catastrophe?
Oh, crikey. I hate these kinds of questions. Like, probably flee to some panic.
Well, I was going to say, I'm fairly sure that I would be dead with the majority, so I don't have to worry about it.
Absolutely, but I think that this question takes as given the fact that you've somehow survived.
Yeah, okay.
So what do? You go to a small colony somewhere where you panic.
Yeah.
You try and
find other people.
I think this massively depends on the kind of catastrophe, though, as well.
Yeah. If it's some sort of nuclear apocalypse, you're going to have to get into some sort of underground bunker pretty
quickly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Julia. It depends.
I agree, Julia, yeah.
Just like Gabe said. Okay, well, maybe we'll go forward and look at what we've got next.
Let's look at some types of catastrophe, I think. That's on to the next. Okay, so
yeah.
We've got some apocalypse-related vocabulary here. So I'll read out the definitions on the right, and then we can match them up to the ones on the left. Yeah, let's just look at Aria's sentence.
We would probably all be busy rebuilding. Humanity is made to adapt, so after a moment of despair, I would try to find a way to create a new life, hoping, however, not to be the only one. Really, really good.
Extra. A very positive sentiment as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. I think there are no errors in there.
Okay, so we have a city that is completely abandoned, to leave a dangerous place, land that is uninhabitable and devastated. This word is a little bit tricky. Uninhabitable.
Oh, yeah.
Uninhabitable. I've had students have difficulty with that one. When a disease enters someone's body, a person who lives through a disaster, to degrade or decompose, to grow in an uncontrolled way. Okay, so if we start with wasteland, what's a wasteland, guys?
And you can say, guys, you can say, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can say wasteland plus the number of the sentence.
Oops. Let's do that.
Okay, perfect. Aria, good. Land that is uninhabitable and devastated. Yeah. And so just while we're on the subject of this word, uninhabitable, 6 syllables. It's extra strange because the opposite is inhabitable, which means you can live there. And inhabitable has the opposite meaning in Italian. An inabitabile place means you can't live there. But inhabitable means you can live there. And uninhabitable means inabitabile. So that's always
weirdly,
fun.
though, you can say both habitable and inhabitable.
Yeah.
And they mean the same. They mean the same thing. They both mean you can live there. Yeah, bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. It comes up in one of the Maya's lessons, and it's always fun to try and explain to students.
So we've got evacuate next. We've got the answer from Julia. From Aria, rather, sorry. Sorry, all of the names. Julia and Giovanni evacuate.
Yeah, good.
Spot on.
So Aria, you got it. Ghost town. Living in a ghost town.
Ghost town, I was just thinking that. There's a bit of a famous song about this.
Too much fighting on the dance floor. Oh, Aria already gave us this. Ghost town. Yeah, and Julia won for Ghost town. Great.
What's on? Decay.
Perfect, Giovanni. Ghost. Oh, damn. That was my mistake.
Okay.
I can't. I could have gone back. And Julia, Aria already said decay 6 anyway.
Yep. Okay, so decay, to degrade or decompose. And again, I think we said about decompose before, didn't we? That decompose tends to be more about
plant matter or
or bodies and bodies or plant kind of living matter.
Yeah.
Not so much as like buildings. Buildings decay or degrade more.
Yeah.
Decompose is living matter, bodies, plants, that kind of thing. Tissue, yeah, exactly. Cells.
Right, good. I think we've explained the...
We explained the hell out of decompose.
Survivor! And we've got from Giovanni, good. Yeah, absolutely. Well, a person who lives through a disaster is a survivor.
Infect. Yeah.
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 Well, I'll connect it up. I was listening to me scratching, trying to scratch my back.
Your choke hold again.
Yeah. Okay. And overgrow.
Overgrown. Yeah.
To grow in an uncontrolled way. This is a little strange, though, this verb. Usually, we only use this in the form of a past participle. So, which in effect is an adjective. So, overgrown is an adjective, a past participle that we use. But we wouldn't really say this garden is overgrowing.
It's no.
No, we only really use the past participle form, which I'm sure we'll see now.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have just given away the answer, part of the answer. Okay.
Never mind.
So this, yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, so there's the gap fill here with the terms on the right. Fit the terms into the gaps, and you may have to change them, change the form in order to make them fit.
Yeah, if it's a verb.
In fact, it is a very popular word nowadays as well. Yeah.
Giggling.
That should be well known in your vocabulary right now. Okay, so in 1986, the town of Pripyat was after an explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
And Arya has already.
Arya's on it. On it like a car bonnet.
And Julia and Giovanni, good, was evacuated. Okay, the area was declared an exclusion zone. The city is now while the surrounding countryside has become unusable for farming. So what is number 2 there? The city is now good. We got it from Arya. Good. And Giovanni, a ghost town.
Oh, ghost.
Too much fighting on the dance floor.
On the dance floor.
It's a song by the Specials, if anybody wants to look it up.
Great song, great song. I've just got that image of Father Ted where they play. They play that on repeat though. Because he only brings one record to this disco, and it's Ghost Town. They play it on repeat throughout the entire. The surrounding countryside has become a wasteland.
So yeah, good from Julia and Giovanni. And for Arya, decay is a verb, so it doesn't make sense here. You're maybe already looking ahead, but good. Wasteland, unusable for farming.
And then we have, after sitting unused for nearly 30 years, the buildings are and the forest has started to the city. Oh, so the buildings are... Sorry?
No, nothing.
The buildings are
I was just thinking this contradicts what I said before.
Oh, isn't this the bit where there's a... There was an option, wasn't there? Last time we did this, I think there was somebody presented an alternative. Oh no, I remember. There was somebody said the participle form, and then somebody said the the ing form, I think.
Yeah. Well, like we've got here.
Yeah.
Um,
Because they've given the participle, but I think it's.
it is, the answer is the ing
Is the
form.
yeah, is the ing form.
So we've got decayed, like Julia is the correct spelling. The buildings are decayed. This makes sense. But actually, the form in the answer, I think, is in the present continuous, which also makes sense. So we've got are decaying, which would mean the process is ongoing. They are still decaying today.
I suppose that works slightly better because decaying is a continuous process that goes on, doesn't it? You don't reach a point where it's just like.
Yeah.
I mean, decayed also works, but it's just, if you think about the sense and the meaning of continuousness, I think decaying is better.
Yeah. But it was the second one which I meant contradicts what I said before. Because you guys are right, it's to overgrow. Have started to overgrow the city, and I said that we usually use overgrow in the form of a past participle.
As an infinitive, I do think it appears. As in any other form, no. I think as a participle again.
Yeah.
As you said, it doesn't appear in the simple tense, really, does it?
Or continuous.
Or a continuous.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to take the next sentence? I think I'm speaking or not.
Some of the were by the radiation and became sick or died. Aria's already given us these answers. Yeah.
Some of the.
Just careful with.
Very, very close, Aria. Yeah, we just need some of the. What form of the noun?
Yeah. If we've got some, the noun needs to change a little bit. Survivors. Okay, like Julia has written.
Yeah.
And then
also because we've got this were afterwards,
oh,
which
yeah,
is a
that's
big
true.
clue again. We have were.
Yeah. Were infected. Experts predict that in approximately 200 years, the radiation will have subsided to habitable levels. So here we've got habitable.
What does subside mean, guys? Can you tell us what subside means? You said your sister went round Chernobyl or something, did you?
Yeah, my sister visited Chernobyl a year, maybe a bit less than a year ago, around a year ago, I think. She said it was amazing and very strange. And you could only visit with a guide. And he had his, is it a Geiger counter? Is the radiation measuring thing? And
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and he walked around with his Geiger counter, and he'd go up to a rock, point the Geiger counter at the rock, and the Geiger counter goes crazy.
That sound,
just to show that
it's an iconic sound, isn't it? We are in radiation territory. This isn't media.
Yeah.
Have calmed down.
Yeah.
To reach. I think collectively, yeah, you're all on it here. Will have subsided. To calm down in a way, to reach a lower level. I think really what we mean is kind of reduce. The level will have reduced. If something subsides, it's reduced to a lower level. It doesn't mean it's gone, but it's lowered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Okay, so this is the same text. We've got this sentence here, the radiation will have subsided to habitable levels. What tense is this? What's the name of the tense, the grammatical tense?
I've now got the song in the year 5555. If man is still alive, stuck in my head.
I don't know that song, so I'm safe from it.
That song? It's quite an oldie about kind of the future extinction of mankind. It's quite good. Can't remember who it's by.
Oh, sorry. So, Giovanni, it's not the future simple. Because we've got will have subsided. So it's not just will plus infinitive. It's will plus have plus participle. Julia, maybe you are thinking of the right thing. The name is not future participle, but good. Aria's got it.
Future perfect.
Yeah, the future perfect. Okay, what tense is it? How's it formed? Okay, there's the structure. Subject will have plus past participle. And the future perfect, before we answer these questions, let's quickly, oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, the future perfect we use to look, we take a future point in time, and then we look back towards the present, and we describe an action that happens between now and this future point in time. So we don't know exactly when the radiation will subside to habitable levels, but by, which is before 2216, the radiation will have subsided. So it takes place before that, before this point. Okay. Do you think that was?
I think that was great.
Okay. Good. Come take the next bit.
Okay, so using the future perfect in your answer, so subject plus will have plus participle. When do you think the following things will have happened? So we've got the first one. The government to open the exclusion zone. So you can, for this, you can invent using the information, but obviously you can invent.
Yeah.
Use the future perfect.
Complete sentence. So we'd like a response with a complete sentence, not just a date. you've got the example. If you want to check the structure, you can look at the example in the text. So for Giovanni, Giulia, and Aria, and any other students. Oh, good. The government will have opened the zone by yeah, not in. We don't really use in with the future perfect, but we would say by 2216 or before 2216.
Yeah, because we don't know when exactly it happened, remember, between now and that future point. If we said in 2016, that would mean that it happened in 2016. We need a vague period of time in between. The government will have opened the exclusion zone.
And so same thing.
Okay, same thing, yeah. This, however, is, whoops, spot on, yeah. The government will have opened the exclusion zone by 2226. You've both gone for 2226 as well.
10 years after it subsides, after we know that it will have subsided to habitable limits. That makes sense. Okay, I think there are more other chances to use the future perfect. So maybe we should go on to some more interesting situations.
Yeah. Let's move on. People will have returned to the area by 2226. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, really good.
Well done, Giovanni. Yeah.
Do you want to read that?
Yeah. So okay, we have we have a different scenario. The Discovery Channel series Aftermath describes a world after the end of humanity and what would happen to our urban areas as well. It predicts that without humans, many concrete and metal structures will have collapsed within 100 years.
I always think this is
here we have. Sorry, this is a.
Is it Cambodia where these amazing ruins are? I can't remember. But I always think this is amazing.
Potentially, yeah.
Famous old temples. Okay.
So here instead we've been given a time period, 100 years, as opposed to a fixed date. So we see instead this kind of marker. Sorry?
No, sorry. I think it's basically the same activity.
It's basically the same, yeah, but I'm just pointing out that we'll see something we won't see by if you get a period of time.
Oh, I see.
You won't see by or before, you'll see within.
Mm-hmm.
Which gives the sense of in this period of time. Within 100 years, many concrete and metal structures will have collapsed.
Yeah.
So, how long do you think it would take for the following things to happen?
I think you guys could choose.
You choose, yeah.
Choose any sentence or sentences that you want to describe. And remember, we're describing after the end of humanity. So we don't know why, but there are no more humans. So how long would it take for these things to happen?
Does this annoy you, Emily? Big Ben to stop ticking.
Well, it does now you pointed it out. Well, I mean, seeing as Gabe,
I think you have to explain that now.
Yeah. Seeing as Gabe brought it up, Big Ben, famous London monument, famous London attraction, but Big Ben is not the tower. It's not the clock. Big Ben is actually the name of the bell inside. So Big Ben does not tick because the clock ticks each second, but Big Ben is the bell. So Big Ben will never stop ticking because it doesn't tick. You could say the clock of Westminster Tower. Okay. Cities will have been overgrown by nature within 100 years. Really nice, Giovanni. You've even made it future perfect passive.
Future perfect passive, yeah. And then we have, did you do this one? Animals will have become wild in a short time. Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
Good, yeah. I'm gonna do a sentence for that last one just to
correct it.
The clock of.
Any other ones, guys, whilst Emily corrects Big Ben?
Within, I don't know.
I'm not sure if that was a typo, Julia. I'm not sure what you were responding to.
I wonder if she meant to send a sentence before that, but I don't actually know what the mechanism is that keeps Big Ben. It has probably less than 3 years. It's probably within 3 days, isn't it? Because if there's no electricity.
I don't know. It's not being run by hydropower or something, is it?
No, we don't.
Big Ben will have stopped taking ASAP. Discharge the battery.
Okay. Big Ben will have stopped ticking as soon as the batteries have run out. So we don't use the verb discharge with batteries, with energy in this way.
Yeah.
And as soon as possible is also a little different, but I think you mean as soon as. Big Ben will have stopped ticking, or the clock of Westminster Tower will have stopped ticking as soon as the batteries run out. Present simple, I guess, for that part.
Yeah.
And the verb is, so when the energy of a battery finishes, we say it runs out. So we use this phrasal verb. Your phone runs out of energy. And actually, to run out, we use for any kind of resource. For
run
example,
out of food.
Have you?
I've run out of food. I have to go to the shops. I have run out of food completely.
Is that true, Gabe?
It is true. Yeah, I'm down to pasta and oil and garlic. That's it.
I've run out of milk. Okay, so Giovanni, for this sentence, you've given us a conditional, and this should be in the form of a third condition. A first conditional. So you're imagining what will happen if something else doesn't happen. We don't need to use the future perfect with this. So food, we also actually don't need. We could just use decay. We don't need become, but food will decay if someone, and then we need third person, if someone doesn't eat it. So it's a first conditional, just future simple. I'll write that out.
Yeah, okay. And Las Vegas will have turned into a wasteland within 5 years. Lovely stuff. Good. Might be a bit better, I think. Or arguably, Las Vegas is already a wasteland. A moral wasteland. Yeah, really good sentence. Perfect, though.
Yeah, really nice. So this is the correction of Giovanni's. Food will decay if someone doesn't eat it.
Yeah.
First conditional. You could give us your own inventions. We don't have to use. I've only got a minute. We don't have to use these sentences, but I'm going to think of another one. After the end of humanity. I can't think of an example now. Okay, I've got one to finish with. A new.
Oh, I've done one.
Oh, this is Gabe.
I'm not putting a long time frame on it, but I think about 13 years. Humans will have been enslaved by cats.
Okay. And mine is this is probably actually again too short a time frame, but after the end of humanity, a new intelligent species will have evolved by 10,010. Which is 8,000 years away, but that's probably still not.
That is a very fast and intelligent species, if it isn't yet. I think maybe potentially this intelligent species is advanced cats. I completely agree with you. Humans are already enslaved by cats.
Okay, well, that's a nice place to finish. That was great, guys.
All right.
It was quite fun.
Some really lovely examples.
Always fun to talk about Armageddon. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Have a really nice evening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.